Travis Wayne Goodsoe. They managed to find and fix the water, so that's good. What is really bizarre is that there's a hater out there. The press, I think it was even Bill Maher, who also trashed the social media likes and dislikes, thumbs up, thumbs down for YouTube, as the social media guys went and talked with Congress this past week. Last week, it's now Sunday. I mean, they helped perpetuate bullying, cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is a federal felony crime. It's just social media does not enforce it. And so when I talk about my life, when I talk about the evils of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, having been born and raised Mormon, so I know everything about it, and everything they've done to me, everything they've covered up, and to have other Mormons just appear on my channel just to put a thumbs down and then run away, not listening to my video, that's cyberbullying. Mormons are committing federal felonies, and they don't care because they're protected by the social media companies. But YouTube allows me to at least cover up your thumbs down so that nobody sees them. So you did it in vain. What is cool is that the waning moon, which means it's going dark, it's shrinking, it's lessening, it's whatever you call it, is in conjunction with the moon, or Mars right now. And if you've been following my videos, Mars has been identified as Russell M. Nelson of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the president. And you may say, oh, come on, Travis, you can't do that, that's astrology, blah, blah, blah. No. I've checked. Signs in the heavens with events on earth. So Mormons know that Russell M. Nelson took over for President Thomas S. Monson after he died. Well, just so happens on the night of Monson's death, there was a sign in the heavens, a combo sign. It was like a major event that took place. And where was Mars? Mars was at the very top of the scales of judgment of Libra. He was now the judge. He was taking over. That was the big confirmation. The previous one had to do with the Family Discovery Day back in 2017, where he and his wife gave the host, or the whatever you call it, talk for the session. And I see critics using that to mock or condemn Nelson for what he was saying in that. But nonetheless, he was in charge. He was the one who gave the keynote speech for that Family Discovery Day. And that also was when the flood in Elko occurred. It didn't affect Salt Lake City this time, like the flood, what was it, back in the 80s? And so the first clue that I had that this was going to be associated with Nelson was that Mars was in Pisces along with Venus. Venus is the wife of Mars, as well as represents the church. And yes, I'm sorry, Mormons, the Latin word for Venus is Lucifer. And when Isaiah chapter 14 verse 12 talks about how art thou fallen from heaven, the Latin Vulgate puts in, O Lucifer, son of the morning. It's got multiple meanings because he's clearly talking about the star Venus in the Latin Vulgate version, but he's using Venus as a symbol for the character Lucifer, and as such the church along with it. And it's interesting that the Latin Vulgate, which was 398, 396, somewhere around there, when it was composed or translated. It's a long time ago. And thus the concept of falling stars, which the Pleiades and others are out in the sky right now, they're not as powerful as the one that occurred on Monson's death from the Quadrantids, which is the third most voluminous, occurs third most often. But the pentagram was well known for the star. Even in Egyptian, they use a stick figure of the pentagram to represent the star. So the star symbol has been around forever. And so the concept of a falling star was easy enough. You flip it upside down. And so why Mormons can't make that connection with Mormonism, as the theology of Mormonism is that Lucifer tried to overthrow Heavenly Father's kingdom and present a new plan that takes away agency to save everybody. Oh, it saves everybody, so therefore it's good. The end justifies the means. And Mormons know this doctrine, and yet you still see Mormons who have failed in their second estate, as they understand where that comes from in Abraham. We were supposed to choose Heavenly Father's plan, not Lucifer's. So why, Mormons, are you choosing Lucifer's plan? But the falling star, Joseph Smith made it clear, talking in the selections from the Book of Moses that he worked with Sidney Rigdon on, and in Moses 4, 1 through 4, goes over the whole falling from heaven that Lucifer talks about. And so Mormon doctrine is very clear on attaching Lucifer and his fall from heaven. And thus the symbol is turning the pentagram star upside down. So Joseph Smith knew this, and he didn't put it on his Kirtland temple. It's on the Nauvoo temple. Brigham Young's brother-in-law was the designer. It was not Joseph Smith. And so the Nauvoo symbolism of the inverted pentagram I've already gone over. It should horrify all Mormons, because it shows that they purposely had Joseph and Hiram assassinated, Joseph and Hiram being the two sunstones, with the inverted pentagrams above them, referring to their murderers, Willard Richards and John Taylor, with the glass window inverted pentagram representing the master behind all of the murder, which is Brigham Young. And I've connected it to the Scottish Rites Illuminati, and the Illuminati themselves adopted the inverted pentagram of Lucifer as a light bearer. And so I've tied it all together. Remember, Mormon, born and raised, 50 years, and I don't believe whatever the church tells me to just because they're in the position and I was born into the church. That's stupid to think that way. But yet I thought that way as a kid. Oh, I'm born into the true church. I'm special. And so my born-again Christian friend who says that I can't drink coffee doesn't understand. I'm special. What arrogance we get taught. But then Mormons themselves are fractured as to doctrinal understanding. Not just between Utah Mormons versus outside Utah Mormons, but also among Mormons themselves. Different doctrines, different interpretations, and most of it comes from people just listening to other people and picking and choosing what they want to believe. That's where it comes from. Nobody knows references. They go, I heard. Oh, did you hear? Remember, that's called hearsay. Why are you hearing? Don't hear. Know. And how do you know? Well, Mormons have changed that doctrine. The concept of knowing is now receiving a seed. You now know. I've got a seed. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And Mormons know this. They should know this. But they don't read their Book of Mormon. They don't put the puzzle together. They don't think, wait a minute. Faith without works is dead, and I'm turning the definition of faith into knowledge. Can I do that? Can I change definitions of our doctrine to justify believing in whatever I want? And yet Mormons blame me. I point out these simple doctrinal errors of Mormonism, and they blame me. They attack. And it's all based on cowardice. They hide behind their computers. They don't get to be in front of me to tell me to my face. They would never dare. I would shut them down immediately. And Mormons who dare make a comment, I just throw it right back at them. You don't believe in the Book of Mormon. You don't believe in Joseph Smith. And silence, because they got busted for their ignorance, for their failing to produce the works from faith. Because again, faith without works is dead. Seed without fruit is dead. And Mormons can't make the connection, despite it being repeated in our Mormon scriptures. So, yeah, Moroni chapter 10, 4 and 5 is completely trashed because of Mormon tradition. They have completely destroyed that passage. And I've done that video. I've done the Mormon revision of it, putting it on the screen for you. So, this is the hatred of Mormons. And, sad thing is that it's prophesied that Mormons are going to weep and wail when their church is gone. Because yes, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is prophesied to be destroyed. And Mormons are prophesied to weep and wail and lament that it was destroyed. And that they instead attacked the wrong guy. So, have fun this Sabbath as you're going to church in violation of CDC health guidelines. We're in red, guys.